ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परम ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Om Om. In Mulavidya Nirasa, we were discussing the fourth passage. Now go to the fifth one. Avasthatraya parikshanameva nalam tattvajnanaya. Common man, a jignasu, a seeker of truth or a common man, having argued like this, that the world is always there. World is there during deep sleep. World is there in waking state. There is a world in dream state. So in all the three states, there has been the world and it is there. So by examining the three states, any amount, any number of times, you will not miss the presence of the world. This is what he says. Because we see the world is always present. When the world is always present with you, associated with you, that means you and the world and you. This duality is always present in waking, dream, and also equally in deep sleep. So what is the point in examining three states? So he says, he comes to a conclusion. Common man, having expressed his view that the world is always there, he declares his conclusion. Tadevam, in this manner, sarvatapi jagadatma sambandasya nakadachit vigamaha. You can never be dissociated. You can never be free from the world. You never become free from the world because world is always there. You can never become free from the world. Kadachit vigamaha drishtaha. Nobody has ever experienced in no state, neither in waking, nor in dream, nor in deep sleep. Nobody has ever experienced the dissociation, the freedom from the world. World is always stuck. You are stuck with the world. World always sticks to you. So you are never free from the world. That means you are an individual being connected with the world. That means the relativeness, the world, your interaction with the world influences you and you work with the world. So when the world influences you, then you are bound by the cause and effect relationship. You are bound by cause and effect relationship, karma and karma phala. This is what you have. This is what you are left with. So becoming free from the world means what? Becoming free from the world means becoming free from your sense of individuality. Okay? You are no more an individual. If you are free from the world means you are free from being an individual who is a part of the world. Okay? I am a part of the world only as an individual. And how do I become an individual? When I identify myself with the body, mind and sense organs, I become an individual. So as an individual, I am a part of the world. Then when I am a part of the world, I am influenced by the world. That means I pass through the relationship of cause and effect. Cause and effect, cause and effect. I am subject to action. I am subject to result of action. That means I have to continuously act and I continuously get some result, good and bad, pain and pleasure, favorable and unfavorable. So this is a series of pain and pleasure or favorable and unfavorable. This is my life. So I am subject to birth and death. Okay? Subject to pain and pleasure and suffering, failure, success, honor and dishonor. Because these are all the result of the influence of the world upon me. World means a society. Society, worldly events, they keep influencing me and I am subject to be influenced. I am subject to the world. So if I am always in association with the world, if I can never be free from the world in any of the states, neither in waking, nor in dream, nor in deep sleep. If I am always in association with the world, then the worldly interaction is inevitable and the influence of the world becomes inevitable. Then I suffer from all normal samsara. No way of discovering oneself to be free from the world by examining the three states. Now, what common man says is, the aim of common man is, just a minute. The aim of common man is, the intention of the person is, examining the three states is not enough. That's what he wants to say. If you want us to teach, if you Vedantin want us to teach the freedom from the world, freedom from my being a jiva, freedom from my jivahood, freedom from samsara, freedom from being subject to cause and effect relationship, freedom from birth and death. If you want to teach me freedom from samsara, you have to teach me something else, but examination of three states is not enough. What he wants to say is this: examination of three states is not enough. You have to teach us something else if you aim to teach us that I am free from the world, that I am no more an individual, but I am a Mukta Purusha, I am Brahman. Because the Brahmatvam, my nature of Brahman cannot be understood just by examining the three states. This is what you have told in your outlines of Vedanta, outlines of Vedantic Prakriya. In the first passage, Vedantin told that examination of three states is enough. It is enough to teach you how you are neither an individual nor you are related to the world. You are free from the relationship of time, space, birth and death and pain and pleasure and hunger and thirst, all these human relationship. You are free from it. You remain as a free being, as a Brahman. Okay. But he says, common man, I have watched. You told three states? Yes, I have watched. I have observed my three states very minutely, very seriously, repeatedly I have watched. I have examined. Unfortunately or fortunately, I found that I am always stuck with the world, both in waking, in dream, as well as in deep sleep. That means I find myself never to be free from the world, relationship with the world. I never find myself free from the relationship with the world, because the relationship, the world is so inevitable, so invariable that you can never miss it and you can never lose it. That's what he says. Jagadatma sambandhasya nakadachit vigamaha drishtaha. This one sentence means what I told all this. Jagadatma sambandha. Sambandha of the Jagat with Atma is kadachit nadrishtaha. Vigama is separation. Sangama is sanyoga. Vigama is separation. So, freedom from the world is never experienced, nadrishtaha. I have never seen in any of the states, neither in waking state, nor in dream state, nor in deep sleep, nor in any small period of waking state, nor in any small period of dream state, neither in the complete waking state, nor in a small period of waking state. Nowhere I have ever seen myself being free from the world. Okay, not only I have experienced, it is not possible even to infer. Na anumiyate, drushto anumiyate va. Nor can you ever infer by examining the three states that Atma could possibly, infer means what? Infer the possibility of, see, when you experience directly a freedom from the world. But first he told, he ruled out the experience. Now next he says, nor is it possible to infer. Infer means nor is it possible to imagine, guess the possibility. Nor is it possible nor can you infer the possibility of freedom from the world. Okay? You can't infer that you could possibly be free. Possibility also I don't envisage. That means no inference. Inference also, you can't infer your freedom by examining the three states. You have to teach something else if you want. If you want to teach me I am free from Brahman, I am free from samsara and I am Brahman, you have to teach me something more than examination of three states. But three states examination I have done, it's not enough. See, he has got his own conclusion, his own way of telling. Now Vedantin has to show how by examining states alone is enough. He has to show. Because there is a way of examining. You think that you see, this is the mistake of the people. When Vedanta says that by examining the three states you come to understand that you are Brahman, they said, okay, you have told this much, this is enough for me. I have understood now Vedanta. I will go myself. I shall go and examine the states myself. He will go home and starts examining himself, and he finds that no way that I am free from the world. So this is what the mistake the person does it. When Vedanta says examining the three states is enough, it means you take help of Guru, take help of the Shastra. You listen to the teaching, complete teaching of the Shastra. You listen to the complete teaching of the Shastra. Shastra helps you to how to examine, then helps you how to discover. No, instead of listening the complete process of teaching, you take one sentence of it and interpret it in your own way and try to implement it. That doesn't work. It's not likely to work. That's a totally wrong way. When people are told that we need to examine three states, that's all. They listen only this much. They examine in their own way. See, there is a way of examining. States are known to us: waking, dream, deep sleep, known to everybody. And we know the three states. We know how to observe, but that's not enough. There is a Vedantic way, Upanishadic way of observing or examining the three states. Upanishad has got the right way of examining. And without learning that method of teaching, the prakriya of examination, you just want to examine on your own, and that is a mistake. Okay. So, drishto anumiyate vaiti mudhaiva uchyate. So the student, the common man continues to say, he says, therefore what you are telling is waste in vain. It is not true. Mudhaiva uchyate parikshana matrena avasthatrikasya nishprapancha shuddhatma prasidhyati. You told wrongly. You told not convincingly, he says. What you told is not acceptable. That means mudhaiva uchyate means unconvincing, unacceptable, not convincing, or not acceptable. You are telling the thing which is not acceptable to us. What is not acceptable? Parikshana matrena avasthatrikasya. Just by examining the three states, you understand the Atma to be free from the world. World has never existed, never touched the Atma, because the world itself doesn't exist. The world never existed, and you alone existed as Brahman. This discovery is not possible by examining the state. Therefore, it is not convincing to us, it's not acceptable to us. Apicha, second point. Suppose, let us assume that by examining the three states, particularly by examining the deep sleep, you become free from the world. Okay, let me assume you have been telling that the world is not there in dream state and waking state, and much more clearly in deep sleep. In deep sleep, you are totally free from the world. world doesn't exist, you alone exist. This is what you told in the beginning, the student says. This is what you, Vedantin, told in the beginning. Regarding that, I am telling you. Apicha, moreover, asmin pakshe, assuming that there is no world, you become independent of the world in deep sleep. Asmin pakshe sushupti matrena samsara parimukto bhavati. What will be the problem? If I accept your statement that we become free from the world, world doesn't exist in deep sleep, by examining the deep sleep, and he says that again is a problem. Your explanation is not at all good enough. Why? See, sushupti matrena samsara parimukto bhavati. According to you, person, a jiva becomes free from samsara, free from the world just by going to sleep. You say by going to sleep I become free from samsara and I attain Brahman? If that is the case, assuming I am talking, he says, it doesn't happen. In fact, according to him, it doesn't happen. Doesn't happen means one doesn't become mukta, one doesn't become liberated by examining the deep sleep. By going to the deep sleep, one doesn't become free from samsara, yet assuming that you become free. Okay, let us assume for sake of argument. Okay, then sarvopi agopala panditamiti kimadhikarika syat vedanta shravana mananadi trishna. If you are to become free from samsara, free from the world, free from your individuality, just by going to sleep, what a wonder. Everybody would become liberated by going to sleep. If going to sleep is so easy way, if just by going to sleep you become free from samsara, that was the easiest method and the easiest thing anybody can do. You just close your eyes and go to sleep. Most of the time I sleep in my talk only. I sleep during my talk. I had some effect of my medicine. So, sushupti matrena samsara parimukto bhavati. You become free from samsara just by going to sleep. If that is the case, you think you become liberated, you will get into more problem. You will get into a bigger problem. What is that? Agopala panditam iti. Gopala panditam. This is our Sanskrit expression. Means the most illiterate to the greatest scholar, highly educated person. Very common man, illiterate from common man to the highly intelligent and educated person. So, to refer to a totally illiterate person, totally ignorant and illiterate person, we use a word Gopala or Avipala. Gopala means a person who tends cattle, who looks after cattle, who takes the cattle for grazing and looks after it. A person who looks after cattle is not educated at all, is a very simple man, common man, does his humble service, just a servant. He looks after the cattle, is not educated, doesn't know much, except giving the food to cattle and give the water and look after them, that's all. He doesn't know much. So, Agopala Panditam, right from an illiterate cowherd boy up to a highly intelligent and educated man, everybody goes to sleep. So, everybody gets liberated, you mean everybody gets liberated just by going to sleep? Then in that case, kimadhikarika syat vedanta shravana mananadi trishna. Then, for whose sake there will be a desire for listening to Vedanta? Who will have? Means which person will have a desire for listening to Vedanta? See, we take interest to listen to Vedanta, reflect on the meaning of Vedanta and contemplate. For what? To get liberated. If by simply going to sleep you become liberated, why would any person undertake Vedantic Shravana, which is so hard, so difficult to understand Vedanta? Why would anybody take so much of trouble to listen to Vedanta and reflect and meditate and all that. Why should I do? Going to sleep is such an easy method to become liberated. If that is the case, you see, he's telling, Swamiji, you are advising us that do avastatraya viveka, that is enough. See, watch your deep sleep, you understand that you are free from the world. If by going to sleep I become free from the world, it is a big threat to you. Swamiji, nobody will listen to your Vedanta. Because we don't need to listen to Vedanta. Instead of Vedanta, I'll go to sleep. Instead of listening to your Vedanta, I'll go to sleep. By going to sleep, I become liberated. That's an easiest shortcut. That is the easiest way and shortcut. Why should I struggle hard so much to listen to all your Vedanta Upanishadic talks you have been teaching from the 3 years, all Sugama and all then Kannada, also what is that? Vedanta Paribhasha, all that you have been teaching, Gita and so many things. You are also unnecessarily straining, and you are giving us unnecessarily trouble. When there is an easiest way, go to sleep and get liberated. So your teaching is becoming a problem to yourself. Your teaching, your Vedanta will go waste. Because your teaching is going against the need of listening to Vedanta, going against the necessity of listening to Vedanta and reflecting and contemplating upon Vedantic ideas, Vedantic understanding. Okay? Nahi swataha eva, because nahi swataha eva nivartishnoha samsarasya nivaraneha bhavati amudasya iti. Because why would anybody undertake to listen to Vedanta? Why would anybody take trouble to listen to Vedanta when you can get rid of samsara so easily by going to sleep? See, people always want a shortcut, an easier method. What can be achieved by easily? What can be achieved easily? Why would a person want a complicated method? What can be achieved easily? What can go with a simple paracetamol? Why would anybody go for a lot of operation and injections and all that, antibiotics and all? What can go with a simpler medicine? Why would I spend a lot of money and take trouble and go do all the things, bigger things, complicated things, just by going to sleep? See, Swamiji's statement is nice here. Nahi swataha eva nivartishnoha samsarasya. Samsara that will go away on its own by going to sleep. Sleep comes naturally for anybody. Without taking any extra trouble, sleep comes so easily. Then the samsara goes away easily. Then why do you need so much of struggle? This will be the result of your teaching. But no thinking man, no intelligent man ever believe that by going to sleep samsara will go away. That is your wrong explanation. Nachaivam, another point. Next argument is Nachaivam moksha pratyasham sambhavayamaha. And supposing there is a liberated. Supposing you are liberated by examining deep sleep. But the problem continues to remain the same. Even after getting liberated, when you go to sleep, you become free from samsara, free from the world, and you get liberated. But what is the use of that liberation? Again you will wake up and again you get back your samsara. What is the point in transcending samsara in your deep sleep? It is going to be a tentative moksha. A short while, a tentative moksha. If you become liberated in a short while, for a short period, again you are going to get it into samsara. Do you call it liberation? Okay, next argument is the same thing. Nachas moksha pratyasham sambhavayamaha. We don't hope for any liberation by going to sleep. Because sushupta muktasyasya jagataha jagarite muktasyapi. If a person is liberated in deep sleep, okay, assuming your argument that By going to sleep, you become liberated. Okay, let me assume you get liberated. But what is the use? Sushuptau muktasyapi. A person who is liberated in deep sleep will again come to have the problem in waking state. Are you going to be permanently asleep? You can't afford to be. Once you go to sleep, as you go to sleep, you will come back. Where there is a going, there is a coming back. Vedanta says, all our philosophy says, where there is a going, you will have to come back. Why? Because natural state is your natural state. For natural state, you don't have to work for it. Because natural is natural. What is unnatural? You need to acquire. You need to work extra hard to acquire it because it is outside you. It is not your nature. You have to acquire it. But here, if by going to sleep alone, samsara goes away, okay, it might go away, but what is the use? It's going to come back again. If it is going to come back, what is the use of leaving out samsara for a short while during deep sleep? Okay, nachaivam moksha pratyasham sambhavayamaha. We don't hope any moksha with this because sushuptau muktasya. Even when a person is liberated in deep sleep, again he will come to waking. Again same samsara continues. See, navinenava. So you will be stuck with, you will come to be associated with the world of this waking state or another dream state. Some world you will get stuck with it. Some world you will come back. Okay. Pratibandhena se tattva darshanam. Therefore, nobody can be totally free. Tasmat yuktapetatvat. Therefore, what you presented as a Vedanta is a very illogical thing. Yuktapeta is illogical. Why? Apetatvat shastra vaiyartyapadakatvacha. Two defects. One is it is illogical. Second is vaiyartyapadakatvacha, because Vedanta Shravana, the very Shravana and reflection of Vedanta is waste. Because tasmad yuktyapetatvat shastra vaiyartyapadakatvacha. It renders Shastra as useless. If you can understand yourself, then why do you need Shastra? That's why these days everybody is becoming Vedantin. Everybody teaches others rather than learning. He himself doesn't know what is life. Where are we going? Okay. Therefore, yuktapetatvat shastra vaiyartyapadakatvacha namanyamahe samanjasamidam darshanamiti. Therefore, we can't accept your explanation, your Vedantic prakriya as acceptable, as meaningful. We can't accept it as a meaningful. It's not convincing to us. Okay? In first passage, Vedantin explained his prakriya. In second to fifth, second, third, fourth, fifth, in four passages, a common man, by examining his three states, he explained that your method doesn't work. Therefore, don't try this. Now, Ekiya Samadhanam. To this, a section of Vedanta, that is Mulavidyavadis, or let us say Vyakyanakaras, they try to reply to this common man's objection. How do they reply? By observing, by watching the three states, you will come to understand the truth. So, Ekiya Samadhanam. Ekiya means somebody's. Ekiya, somebody's reply to it. What does he reply? That Mulavidyavadin replies 6th, 7, 8. Okay? 6, 7, 8 and 9. In 4 sections, in 4 passages, Mulavidyavadi is giving his own explanation how to transcend avidya. We have to get rid of avidya. Then thereafter, Vedantins teaching, the real Vedantins, Shankara Vedantins, teaching of all these things starts. Okay. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om Tat Sat.